We review it Wednesday.
Introducing your hosts.
I know there's been a lot of speculation of whether or not I am Matt Logan. And yes, I am Matt Logan.
I'm Tyler. Tyler Peterson.
Slugheads.
Can you smell the garlic?
The garlic?
Yeah.
No.
I put garlic all over my hands and everything to try and, keep off the evil. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong.
Yeah, did you watch Renfield or watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer,
About
so I
Dracula?
felt a little better about that.
Yeah, that's right.
But Scream 6?
Scream 6.
Yeah.
They
Did you
did
scream?
another one. No? Did
No.
I get uncomfortable and uneasy? Yes.
Out of all 6 Scream films, which one would you say is the maybe most proper for like an 8 or 9-year-old?
Well, in my experience of watching 3 of the 6, I don't think any of them are,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
So the theater wasn't very full. I mean, it had probably 20, 25 people in it,
Yeah.
something like that. But there was like 5 or 6 kids between the ages of 8 and like 11 or 12.
I think this happened to the last time, like when we were watching Scream 5.
Yeah.
I had the same experience of like, what are kids doing here?
It was kind of weird for me because that's just the kind of gore and slasher stuff that was going on and
Yeah.
the sex scenes and stuff. I'm sorry. I might be like old-fashioned and a prude or whatever.
Well, you're old.
But
Just kidding.
I right. But it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I think it was weird.
There's a rating system for a reason.
Yeah. And this one
one's
definitely
rated R,
deserved.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't really look at the ratings
Yeah.
anymore since it doesn't apply too much.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, I can confirm that as we chat here, but it's definitely an R.
I mean, I feel like you can only get with like 7 stabbings in a row with it still being PG-13.
Right.
Once
Well,
they
and I
go to
think
8 or
actually
9.
just by the language, it definitely was.
absolutely.
But most of the cast reprised their role in this. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Sydney Prescott was mentioned, but her character wasn't in it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some spoilers,
Spoilers.
but that was in the trailer, so
That's true.
that Sydney wasn't gonna be in it, basically. So,
But it's always good for us to say spoilers up front because
Spoiler
words
alert.
come out our mouths.
Yeah. This is a
alert.
conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like a plotted, planned,
That's right.
written script
No.
where we're trying to avoid, oh, wait, that's a spoiler, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, no, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's coming. But, what do you think? I mean, like, your overall first feeling. I kind of gave you that whole,
I think
joke about Renfield. But
I think I enjoyed 5 as much as I do for these type of films. This one was less than that for me.
Okay.
I did not enjoy it as much. It felt kind of dull.
Interesting.
I mean, dull in the sense of like the story wasn't as intriguing to me
Yeah.
personally.
Well, I think that I understand where you're coming from. I can't say I agree with you,
Yeah.
but I understand where you're coming from. But 5 was definitely, that was your real first exposure to it.
Yeah, and I think we
Was
reviewed Scream
first
and
one.
Scream 5.
Yeah.
And so I did watch those 2.
Yeah. But that was your first exposure. I was, an adult when these were coming out.
Really?
The originals.
Yeah.
And so this reboot or whatever, I thought 5 was done well. This, to me, some of the what would be now legacy characters, because they were in 5, you get attached to them a little bit more and a deeper understanding for them.
I was expecting more people to die.
Yeah.
They really played that up of like nobody is safe.
Right.
Anybody could die.
Right.
And really nobody, I mean there's
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. There weren't that many people that died.
No, there weren't that many people that died. And I don't think we should give away who.
Yeah.
But there weren't that many people.
No.
And is that this whole like out of touch with reality phase that seems to be happening.
Yeah, I'm
like
not
people
sure.
die in the. I mean, they're murdered.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not glamorizing it or anything.
Yeah.
But the
It's New
reality
York City.
is there's some sick people out there.
Yeah.
And you know, that's kind of what they're supposedly trying to portray. But yeah, I agree with you on that one.
And maybe this is where I didn't enjoy as much, as they played up a lot of things, but they didn't necessarily follow through with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I would rather you go deep into it. Like, again, maybe spoiler, but the person that ended up being Ghostface, I wasn't content with who was Ghostface. Like, I wish it was one of the original cast.
Yeah.
And that they turned, because that would have been a lot more intriguing. They probably will do that in the there's going to be more sequels.
Oh, yeah,
surprise,
for sure.
surprise.
Yeah.
But I really wish they would have done that in this film, again, because they played it up like that.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did. I feel like they played it up to a point where this is just part one.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I know,
part two.
right? I know it's not gonna be,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of it in there that they did play up to be a part one. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be 7. So, you know, the way that they did some of it too, like, was so obvious. The you know, I mean, certain things were like, oh, okay.
Here it comes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get into a locked room.
You know, right. I mean, it's that was weird. And, you know, so, but I called the 3 that there would be 3 Ghostface.
It makes sense, because that's kind of the progression they've gone.
Yeah. And I think, what did it for me was their height.
Yeah.
And they kind of, you know, you kind of watched them, and the height was a little different. If you know, that's the. I mean, obviously you can't know for sure, but it seemed like they were different heights.
Yeah.
And they were
right
then at the end. But
I was also intrigued at the beginning of the film, where they kind of like pretended that they're going to reveal Ghostface right away.
yeah,
I hope they do that in a future film. It'd be really intriguing to understand who it is right away.
right.
And see kind of the tactics that work around that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like the Titanic, you know it's going to sink, but
Yeah.
what leads up to it?
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. The iceberg. Just kidding.
Oh, there's that.
Is it that iceberg? Is it going to be that iceberg?
Yeah. They didn't have an obvious ghost face, you know, but it definitely was. They revealed more things, and it's like, oh yeah, that's coming.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So
I wish, I understand why they did 3. And again, you understood that there were going to be more than one, but I also like it when it's just 1 or 2. Like, 3 is getting to be almost too many people involved in the process.
yeah, it's like you want the. Maybe I'm phrasing this wrong.
No, you keep going.
You want the ghost face to like be clever, and how do they put themselves, the appearance that they're in one spot but yet they're at this other, you know.
Right.
And so those are some of the things that you're like, oh yeah, there's at least 3.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's also cool because like the less people involved also makes it more mysterious. I always like less people involved, and then it's more intriguing of how less people were able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
3 is too much.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like you said, it was a lot of the same cast they got from Scream 5.
It was fun to see Hayden, though she hasn't done anything for, what's her last name? Let me look here.
Oh, yeah. The FBI agent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I was thinking the same thing.
Panettiere? I'm screwing that up bad. Hayden. She was in it.
Yeah, she was.
And she hasn't done much for a long time.
Was she in Scream
that I've seen?
1? Or which one did she get stabbed?
2 or 3
2
or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't really catch the full reference of her coming back, but I was like, oh, it's a legacy character. She's coming in.
But she sort of dropped off, as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
You know, haven't seen her in really anything for quite a while. So
she did a good job in this film.
She did. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Because she had some characters, I think, back in like the early 2000s or something that she
Yeah.
was pretty big part of. So
And it was, and this movie in itself was kind of cool. In the end, or kind of building up the film, they had like the Ghostface sanctuary of having all the different people who were Ghostface and the shrines and stuff like that. So it was, to me, that's cool when you're kind of doing like a reboot of being able to see that. And then obviously she was stabbed in or whatever one she was stabbed in.
yeah, I can't remember now, but yeah.
But then they had the throwback and that stuff of, oh, this was the knife that stabbed me. And so then she was able to use it. The main character was able to pull up his dad's knife and use it. So I like that atmosphere.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. When you have a cast this size, I think that it's really difficult to bring it all together, and especially when they're all in the same place, or most of them are in their same place trying to act.
Yeah.
Talked about this on Pitch Perfect too.
Right.
I thought they did such a good job. Joss Whedon, which everybody hates right now.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I think he was really good at, is bringing a full cast together and write it, and the jokes, the heavy parts, the jokey part.
The quality of the group
is
hard to mesh down, and he really is good at that.
Yeah. But they did do a good job here.
Yep.
Obviously, he wasn't involved with it.
Yeah.
But, they did do a good job here. It was written by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin.
Here's what I'll say. His last names
Baby.
aren't meant to be pronounced. That's why I have a
They're
first
not.
name, and that's what you call people.
And then there's Tyler.
That's who I...
Tyler Gillett. But I should have looked at these names first and tried to say them.
Gillett. Gillett.
But so, they did a good job here.
Yeah.
The writers, the directors, bringing everybody together like that, they did a great job, I thought. So, yeah.
I didn't like the person, I forget her name, the one that always we're in a legacy film. Here are the rules.
Yeah, Mindy.
Mindy. She was
Yeah.
not my favorite character.
No, I think that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Personally,
You think so?
I think it is.
I don't like narrators of film, characters who are narrating to the audience of what situation are we in, and these are how the rules play out. Nobody's fair,
Right.
or everyone's fair game.
Well, it's kind of like that sleight of hand thing. They
Yeah.
do it in these movies to kind of make you look a different way.
I wish she would've
overthink it. I know.
When she got stabbed, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is nice.
This is going the right
That's
direction.
right. Let's take her character out. Next film, we can get someone else in.
Right, exactly. So, and same with, I won't give that away. But for me, the characters, I feel like they were written in pretty well, especially for throwing this together as fast as they did.
Yeah.
For it being this type of a film.
Yep.
It wasn't super cheesy.
No.
So I think I'm going to change it. I was a 3.9. I'm going to go a 4.1. Talk about it a little bit more.
I gave it a 3.7.
Okay.
There's just some characters I didn't like.
Yes. So those outlying characters.
Yeah. I like the
stand
main
them.
crew does do really well together. The sisters, Ghostface, FBI, those were really fun to watch interact. But it, like we kind of talked about, it is an ensemble cast and everyone is involved, so it's important for everyone to be on their A game.
Yeah.
And enjoyable. So
Yeah.
some of those,
But the B characters.
I did not enjoy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's talk about music. We won't score it, but let's talk about it before we move on to cinematography. Just briefly. I really, really liked the music at the right times and how it escalated and how it really controlled the scene.
It's so important in films like this.
Yes. That definitely made it more edgy for me. So.
I don't watch many horror films.
Right.
But the ones that are great and the ones that I've seen that I've pooped my pants in is the ones that have great music, because you can have all of the great acting in the world, but if there isn't that suspense in the background of really drawing you into it, the scene isn't going to be as intense.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And this didn't have anything super off the wall music
Right.
that was like, what is that doing there?
Yeah.
You know, it definitely made it more intense.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it was a short time. Horror films are all about darkness, surprise, like you said, sleight of hand stuff of having you focus on one thing. You could see something in the background if you were paying attention to it, but that's not where the cinematography is drawing you towards.
Yep.
And so this movie did a good job with that as well.
It did. I think it did better. I didn't look at who the cinematographer was for 5.
Yeah.
But this one did much better for me.
Yeah.
For the cinematography aspect of it than 5 did.
Which is kind of impressive because it's a big city.
Yeah.
And so when you have a small town, I feel like it's easier because you can have a creepy old house. You can really understand why it's dark in certain areas. This one, you have city lights, you have other stuff going on where you have to make the scene make sense, but also you do have to pull where it's a horror film. You want to make sure audience don't right away see something. If they rewatch it, they can see it. But at the first time, you want to have it drawn into a certain perspective.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Cinematography, I should have looked what I scored on the last one on 5.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And so
I also
I know.
did not do that.
Well, and you know the funny thing, if someone's still watching and listening, we had a lot of data lost.
Yeah, we did.
And I spent millions of hours recovering and using the software to recover different things. And so I was able to recover enough data. So actually that's together now. Yeah. And so these are going to come out back to back.
Surprise.
So it's kind of a neat. It turned
out.
It did.
Yeah.
It turned out well. Yeah. You know, it was
everything
super.
works out for a reason.
It does. I mean, we completely can't recover Venom 2.
Yeah.
But I think we have everything else recovered.
And Venom wasn't that great, so.
No, it wasn't. But it was one of our first episodes, though.
Yeah, it was.
So that would have been fun to have. Yeah. But yeah, but at any rate, so it's going to be, I feel like and hope that it's kind of fun for people that this is coming out. Yeah. Even though they were filmed a very long time different. I'm a little fatter, got a little more facial hair maybe this one. I don't know. It's more gray, I bet.
No, it's a nice start.
But anyway, the cinematography score on this, I didn't give you that yet, did I?
No, you've been doing a nice job.
The cinematography hit it really well for me, and so it's a 4.3 on cinematography. Yeah, that's pretty high.
What I gave it.
Did you? It's a pretty high score for me on cinematography. Yeah. I think Bullet Train I scored pretty high.
Yeah, that movie was crazy though.
Yeah, that was. So yeah, I don't know. I did. You know, you thought 5 fit you better. I liked 5. I liked 6 better. I don't know why exactly. I should rewatch the full or the full film of 5 and then really see. But yeah,
can we talk about spoiler thing right now? I just want to say that now because I would forget otherwise. Did Gale Weathers die, or did they leave that open?
She didn't die. Yeah. I can't remember how they said it. Yeah. But she did not die.
Disappointed.
It's a big spoiler.
Gosh, I know. That's why I was like, I'm starting this part of this conversation with spoilers.
When we start doing these closer to when the release dates are, we'll have to be more careful probably.
That's true.
But yeah.
I try to be. I mean,
I know I do too, but it's just like, it's so hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she is alive. However, we don't know at what.
That's probably going to be number 7.
Right.
I guess that's what they did in 5, though. It was a lot around a hospital.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is going to tip her over the edge. For me. I don't know.
I still remember the scene when they're in the hospital and Ghostface just jumped out of that one room and I was like, oh gosh. Yeah. There was nothing like that in this one for me.
No, that's true. No, that's very true. It did build up a little bit to some of those, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I was extremely entertained. and I would overall like to see it again.
Oh, really?
And probably sooner than later. And I don't know. There was something about this one that I really was entertained. I did love the music.
Yeah.
The music, they did such a good job for me.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the state of mind I'm in today or whatever else. I don't know. But the way they just, all the different types of things they did to help build the scenes with music, I really enjoyed.
See, and I just really didn't enjoy the story.
Yeah.
I thought they could have done a lot more with that.
I didn't like the 3.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, I really did.
Even the ending scene was really stupid.
Yeah.
It was drawn out too long.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot better. Too many characters were in the room. I don't know.
Yeah.
So overall, I was not entertained because I don't know. Story's pretty important to me. Again, it's a horror film, so maybe story shouldn't be that important. But also, it didn't make sense to me. They built up a lot of things that I thought they should have followed up on because they were really interesting ideas. But then they decided to go a different route. They saved too many people. Not enough people died. So I gave it, which I feel is really ironic for me to say. I'm like, I need more death in these type of movies for me to actually enjoy it, even though I hate horror and seeing people get stabbed and blood and guts. But overall, I didn't like it. I was a 3-4.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a 4-5.
Okay.
And see, I like to, the reason I wanted to do these different categories was because there's a film, The Transporter.
Yeah.
Super entertaining for me.
Right.
The music was horrible.
I don't know what you're talking about with that. If you want to be in an elevator, I would love to listen to Transporter music.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But no, so so that's why I don't say like the movie is a 4.2, the whole movie.
Yeah.
So there's the different categories because you can really be entertained, in my opinion, and the rest of it's not super good.
Yeah.
Because there's that.
Those are most movies I enjoy.
It's like the original Dune.
Yeah,
from 84.
Give
right?
me the cheese.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so entertaining, but it's campy.
Yeah.
And,
good word.
I know, right? So yeah, the 4.5 that's a solid for me.
I will agree to disagree.
That's all right. It's all right. Well, hey, people have a choice.
Yeah, they do.
chose to watch and listen to us, suckers.
Ha! Crazy.
Hey, did you like the Slugheads?
I did like the Slugheads. I really like the intro.
That's fun. But so these 2 Slugheads we're wrapping it.
We're wrapping it.
All right.
Christmas Day.
How do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us at legitq@maddysmoviemix.com. Sometimes I think I have dyslexia because I can never remember, is it Maddie's Movies Mix first or is it legitq?
Well, there's maddysmoviemix.com, but legitq at maddysmoviemix.com.
This is only going to confuse me more. You don't give me options. There's only an email. You only email us at legitq@moviesmix.
Exactly.
If you're bored, go to maddysmoviemix.com.
See you next time. Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.
Life's too short to wear a shirt. I mean, a boring shirt. Check out www.shinybrandproducts.com.